Okay, now listen, I want to ask B1 another question because he told us how different he still hangs with people who Islam, Christian, and all of this. So this question is gonna be B1. Do you feel that your Christian brothers, and I'm talking about the people that you know that you met that was Christian, okay, they believed in that and believed in the Bible. Do you feel like they had that revolutionary spirit, like trying to revolutionize? Do you feel like the Bible took that away from them, or are they just preaching the Bible and not the liberation of the people? Do you feel like that getting away? I want to get your opinion on that.
Most definitely, man. Man, for real. And I'm just being honest. I'm talking about, some real life experience as far as that go. Like when COVID came, they was pushing the shot. They was pushing that. And you're supposed to be standing at this point, you're supposed to be standing on my body, my choice. You're supposed to be standing on the separation of church and state. You see what I'm saying?
Might have to drop a dime on them niggas.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta stop it.
I don't like that shit.
For sure, bro.
I don't like that shit.
When it comes to the scriptures, you're going to have to reach a place where it's like you have a connection with that God, and these things become revealed to you, right? So yeah, it's a tricky thing, but yeah, I personally, my answer to the B1 business is yes, for sure. I do believe it.
Wow,
you do believe it? Okay, we got B1 business just came in. B1 business, what's good, family?
What's good, family, man? I appreciate you giving your boy an opportunity to speak, man. Been subscribed for a minute.
Yeah.
I got mad respect. Yeah. I got mad respect. You do, man. You be killing it, man. Yeah. Just, man, real quick. I think it's Jen, and I got my Bibles in the room. I just didn't go get them. My wife and her. I didn't want to disturb her, but. Right. None of this stuff is true, but you can't prove nothing in the Bible. The ark ain't never been found. Ain't nobody found no ark in Turkey. But not only that, the measurements of the boat. If anybody in the chat or a cubit is measured at 1.5 feet. So the Bible was. The ark was long. It roughly measured 3 stories high and 75 feet wide. So Noah was ordered to put 2 of every animal and every beast on the boat. Not only that, the good animals, it's described as the good animals are the best animals. 7 sets of 2 was to go on that boat. So if you take the measurements of the boat ain't even bigger than the Titanic. So you telling me you fit all these animals on this boat, and then the measurements of what the earth was flooded in comes out to 15 feet of water. That boat damn near wouldn't even float in no 15 feet of water, let alone, you think 15 feet of water covered up Mount Everest or Mount Kilimanjaro? 15 feet of water? You flooding the whole earth in 15 feet of water. It's in Genesis 4. It starts in the 8th chapter. The 8th verse. You can read it for yourself. The measurements of the boat and how many animals got put on the boat. And these grown ass people sitting up here talking about, yeah, man, I believe that really happened. So we go, so goes Genesis, so goes the whole book. They lying in the first book. They lying in the whole book. Didn't Jesus didn't walk on no water? Come on, man. It's a mythology. The book not real. It's it got some good stuff in there, but none of this stuff is fact based. You can't find. I would challenge anybody in here saying that the book is real. If you find the gravesite of any Moses, Peter, Paul, Shadrach, Meshach, or Abednego, you find any one of their grave sites, I'll pay your rent for a whole month. Well, for a whole year. If you can prove to me that you found any one of these grave sites.
Yeah. So, you had to build a cave, lions.
Hey,
oh shoot.
Hey, what was that?
Oh shoot, I unmuted while he was talking. I'm sorry. Hey, finish up, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we can crush we can crush all of that in Genesis. You know what I'm saying? We can crush the whole Bible in Genesis with the Noah's Ark. And these people talking about, I believe it. I believe, man, that's all they can do is believe it, because you can't prove it. You see what I'm saying?
What would make people
go ahead?
What would make people, right, believe something that they can't prove? Like, tell me, why would they? You get me? Like, if I told you a story that was unbelievable for me right now, and I told you that, you would be like, why would people why would they believe something that they can't prove? I mean,
especially our ancestors, because our ancestors were dumb. Our ancestors were dumb. They were outnumbered here on this side, but they still prevailed. And it was a spiritual battle. And it still is a spiritual battle. But to say that it's not real, and that's what most of our ancestors believed, especially because before the big migration, when they were here in the South, that's what they believed. And when you talk about Nat Turner was teaching this very thing, which is why he was cannibalized, because they wanted to, if he knew this much information, they wanted a part of that. It wasn't enough to unalive him, but they also had to take part of him, because he was just that phenomenal. But we don't talk about him because we have become indoctrinated, and everything. A lot of things our ancestors did, it was based off of faith. It was based off of faith. But we're in, what's that, Missouri, the show me state, where I don't believe anything unless you can prove it. That's not what our ancestors, that's not the business our ancestors stood on.
Can I ask you a question, Water God?
Yeah.
Would you say you believe that there is a God or Most High?
A higher power, yeah. Most definitely, I believe that.
Can you say you can prove that?
Well, I can prove it. This is the only way I can say, because we can create, okay, a human is created, but which came first, the seed or the egg? We still at that point, right? So that kind of lets me understand that it had to be some kind of scientific stuff done from a high power, because we can't really
come. I want to ask you,
but I want to
ask you another question.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Right. So I understand your disposition there. Would you say that you can prove that you're alive?
Can I prove it? Yeah, I can prove I'm alive.
How can you do that?
I'm breathing, my heart's pumping.
But these things that you're experiencing, how could they indefinitely prove that you're a living entity? What would you be able to compare it to say that I am alive? What is the I in you that is alive?
So you saying I would have to believe? I mean, depends on what you take as alive, because it's different. But I don't get your point. What I'm alive part.
What I'm trying to get at is that I'm not saying you, because I know where you stand personally, but a lot of people are atheists. A lot of people don't believe in God. A lot of people don't believe in the Bible. A lot of people believe and don't believe, right? But this is the thing that I pick a bone with people that say they don't believe, right? Is if you don't have a higher power or God, then how can you say what means, what the definition of meaning is? How can you put a definition to things that you experience when it comes to your emotions, love, connection, all of these words that we use to describe things? How can we say that those things are actually real other than just, interactions within the brain?
Okay, let me let B1 get that. That one's a little over my head. B1, what you think about that one?
It's just they want you to believe what they believe, and if you don't believe, then they got to take you all around the world. Well, how we know red is red? How we know we really supposed to walk a dog with a leash? You know, it just get to asking these questions, man. Look, man created God. It wasn't the other way around. Anything and everything we know about God, we know a man told us. A human being like me and you told us who God was. Just like that lady brought up Nat Turner. Somebody put a Bible in Nat Turner's hand and would only let him teach the Bible. Nat Turner had enough discernment to read the whole Bible and see that within the Bible, some of these people that was oppressed, they fought back. So he just fought back. But we was enslaved through the Bible. It's something called a Negro Bible. You can look that up, Water God. It's something called the Negro Bible or the Slave Bible. So we was indoctrinated with this stuff. And I grew up in church, so you can't really run it on me. I'm a Koja kid. I was born in 73. I've been in church all my life. So, you know, I seen it all. I seen some of the most worst vile people I ever seen was people that was running the church and the people that were in the church. But that's here and all that. We gonna focus on the Bible. We gonna focus on the book. So, you know, yeah, I believe it's a higher power. I believe it's something that, you know, created the trees. We didn't create the trees. We didn't create none of these birds. You see what I'm saying? We didn't create the water. We didn't create none of that, but we use it. We know what to do with water right now. I just did a four-day fast, and they was like, you know, don't eat no food, but drink the water. You see what I'm saying? So we use stuff that's been here for thousands of years. We can't explain it, so we say it was God. It was God. But who told you anything about God? A man. Who wrote any one of these books? She talking about the King James Bible, and it's a Bible over here and a Bible over there. A man wrote them books. At the end of the day, a man wrote them. See, this is what I'm okay. God is omnipotent. God is the most high, the most powerful, the most everything. So what he need a mere mortal man like me and you for to write the book or to get up in the pulpit and tell people about him? Why he can't just tell us himself? Why he never revealed himself to us or nothing like that? Then they get in the more spookism. Well, see, God, because if he show you, he'll have to kill you. It just be some crazy stuff. You know, I done heard it all, man. You know what I'm saying? But nobody can prove none of that stuff, so they blame it on God. God gonna get you. God getting tired of you.
V1, I got a question for you. So what do you think that Bible do that you feel like, you know, they put it here and they using it for control of man? What do you think it does to the people, and what would the people be like if man didn't introduce the Bible to them?
Man, it's powerful. You see it. You see it in the chat. You see these people that's talking to you. It's powerful, man. You know, hey man, it's powerful. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it's used to control. It has always been used to control. And I'll give you an example. Not only did what happened with Dylan Roof when he went off in that church, you see the first thing these black folks did was got in a circle, holding hands and start praying. Well, I'm here in Fort Worth, Texas. A few years ago, I say about 4 years ago, maybe 5, the police killed a little, well, I ain't gonna say he was little. He was running from the police or whatever. And excuse me. Yeah, unalive, you know. And they said he had a pew, but he didn't. They said he had a firearm, but he didn't. But they, you know, they unalived him. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, after a while, you know, they had taped off the scene and all that. And people, you know, you know how I get when everybody just started gathering around and stuff like that. Man, these people got in a circle. Some of these black men some of them held hands with the police that just did this to this boy in cold blood and had prayer with him and was praying with him. And then with the hugging on him after that. And I was like, man, I can't believe. I said, y'all some, I said, man, y'all some suckers. Y'all some weak, scary, coward suckers, man. Even if you do feel like that, you don't do no public display like that. You see what I'm saying? You go amongst your man. They just showed a sign of, look, we bowing down. We submit to you. We don't want no problem with you, nothing like that. And that's due to that Bible, you know, forgive and forget. turn the other cheek, all that kind of submissive stuff. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, like I say, I was raised with, you slap this cheek when I'm turning, I'm coming back like Steve Harvey said, with that back end, bending all the way back around. I'm getting mine back. Ain't no turn the other cheek over here, man. But yeah, that's what it did in my opinion. I don't down. I'm gonna land my plane. I don't down no religion. Like tomorrow, I'm going to a Muslim. This my dear brother. He's a Muslim. I'm going to his wedding tomorrow. One of my best friends is a Muslim. He's a barber. We tight, man. We rolled around yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Right. I got some Christian homeboys. Yeah, I got a couple of Hebrew homeboys. You know what I'm saying? But I don't subscribe to none of that. I don't subscribe to no religion, man. I'm not getting tied down with no religion. It's three main religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And Islam is the youngest of all three of the religions. So, and all three of them was man-made, and all three of them are Abrahamic religions. So, if you can do your research on all that, and you can take my words for what you will. You can take it or leave it or whatever, but that's just how I feel about it, bro. And I appreciate you giving me time to speak.
For real. So y'all rebuttal to this. I want y'all to rebuttal this. Nicole B, you wanted to what you had to say about his stance on is man-made, and just give me your points on what you heard from him.
Well, all due respect, I can only go by my experience, and to be honest, about 2 years ago, I met this guy, wasn't planning on it. I met this guy. He was, not only was he a Muslim, but he was an African. And yeah. And I mean, treated me like a queen, proposed to me and everything. But when I started thinking about it, I was like, okay, well, let me study Islam a little bit deeper. And what I found about the origin, and he's right, the religions come from Abraham. But when I started like really diving into the Muslim belief, it blew my mind. Even when you talk about Christianity, if someone was to ask me, are you a Christian? I always tell people I'm a pre-Constantine Christian. Before the pagans came in and started interjecting certain things. When it comes down to the belief system or whatever, I can only go by what should have been in my life. What I should have where I should have been in my life and what should have happened to me in my life. And because of something that I can't see, taste, or touch, was there to protect me and to get me through certain situations that normal people would have off themselves. I know that he gave me strength and power to overcome certain things that normal people would not have been able to overcome. So
okay, let me clear that up. Hold on. So you saying the actual Bible helped you overcome some things, you saying, or you saying it, are you giving it to the higher power? Which one is you? So we all know which one you mean. Go ahead.
Well, I'm saying it in terms of the Bible is your foundation. Okay, so the Bible is your foundation, but in order for me to have a relationship, it's just like a relationship that you have with a human. You have to work towards that relationship. You have to actually collect data within that relationship. You got to see if you're compatible with that person. You got to see if you and that other person match. And so that's the same thing that I had to do. I couldn't rely on the religion of my parents or my great-grandparents or anything else. I have to seek out my own.
Your own.
I had to seek it out for myself. Yeah.
The contrary what B1 said, right? I was saying that how the Bible could be useful, and he gave an example of how a black man got killed. and it was a kumbaya, and the white officer just killed the black kid. Do you feel like the Bible softens our people up with the turn your cheek? Do you feel like that, like what he's saying? He's basically saying like it keeps us in a certain mindset.
That's because we don't read the Bible. Because if you really read the Bible, especially in the Old Testament, we was slinging. We were destroying nations.
Without
And
the Bible.
and as a matter of fact, if you read the story of Gideon, if you read that story, there were 10,000. Most High said, if I let you fight these opposing people with those 10,000 that you have, then y'all gonna think that y'all did it within yourselves, that you did it on your own. He says, no, send some of them home. Make a long story short, there was only 3,000 that fought. They slew the whole nation. Christianity, modern Christianity, has taught us about turning the other cheek. Modern Christianity, and that is a way. I agree. That's a way, because they know we are the strongest people. It's scientifically, if you need science, it's scientifically proven and everything else. We are the strongest people. So you know that our oppressors, even when it comes down to the word slave, for slaves to obey their masters, it wasn't talking about the slavery that they put us through. It was talking about employment. Your employer tells you what time to be there and everything else. But when it comes down to turning the other cheek and other things like that,
right,
that was not that was unheard of in the in tradition in the pre-Constantine Christianity. That was unheard of. But they had to tell us to do certain stuff like that.
So you agree with that?
Okay, go ahead.
What he said. Okay, so you basically agree with some of what B1 was saying.
Yeah, because even to this day, for me, like if you cross me, I'm gonna pray for you while I'm doing what I need to do. I'm helping society.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a chance to whatever God you believe in. I'm gonna give you a chance to pray and to make amends with whoever you need to. But at the end of the day, I gotta take care of you.
Right. Yeah.
That's me. That's me.
I'm with you on that.
But I'm not gonna have hate. Like even with this stuff that's going on between the diaspora or whatever, I don't have anything against anybody. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm gonna stand on my lineage any means necessary, because I know who I am.
That's right.
I'm not gonna hurt your feelings. I'm not gonna do anything to harm you unless you harm me.
Okay, I hear that now. Black Boy Wonder, I want you to rebuttal what B1 Business said about turn your cheek and it makes it soft. And my question was, how would people be without if the Bible wasn't there, then how it is that people are there right now? Give me your take on that, Black Boy Wonder.
I mean, I think that there have been a lot of doctrines that have been drawn up out the Bible, right, that are counterproductive to our community specifically. And I think that there's a lot of allegorical preaching, and there's this love doctrine that God is love, 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 and stuff like that. But they don't preach the wrath of God. They don't preach the critique of God, the power to change within His righteousness, right, and all of these things that the Bible claims. So I think that there are people that propagate themselves and society as a whole, and this is why being an FBA is quite a unique position to be in, right? Because there are enemies all around in a sense to speak, right? When it comes to economics and power and in the military, authority, all of these ranks that we're up against, and they will, for instance, like the CIA, COINTELPRO, there are a lot of institutions and organizations that are propped up against our community. So when they see something that is good for the gander, then they're going to automatically stand on side of that and push that. So I think that it has weakened people, and I think that there is a lot of weakness that comes out of a lot of the doctrines that is being preached. But like the sister said, like if you really read the Bible, then you will have a more in-depth perspective of what is actually, what God of the Bible is really about. Because, Moses was considered a man of war. You know what I'm saying? God is considered a man of war. So these aren't terms that are being, acknowledged when it comes to the Bible widely. Do you get what I'm saying? If we didn't have the Bible, I think there would be a lot of good and there would be a lot of bad either way. But I think that without the Bible, a lot of people would probably draw a disconnect. I think in some way or another, the existence of the Bible and a lot of preachers, we seem to understand each other from a more of a religio way without maybe identifying with it, right? Like B1, he doesn't believe in any of these things, but if he saw me coming down the street and I'm hailing up, Christ, he probably would have a better understanding of me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Rather than to pick confrontation, he may be able to pick more of a merciful side. Do you get what I'm saying? So I just think that there's good and bads on both sides.
Respect that. Okay, now listen, I want to ask B1 another question, because he told us how different he still hangs with people who Islam, Christian, and all of this. So this question is gonna be, B1, do you feel that your Christian brothers, and I'm talking about the people that that you met that was Christian, okay, they believed in that and believed in the Bible. Do you feel like they had that revolutionary spirit, like trying to revolutionize? Do you feel like the Bible took that away from them, or are they just preaching the Bible and not the liberation of the people? Do you feel like they're getting away? I want to get your opinion on that.
Most definitely, man. Man, for real. And I'm just being honest. I'm talking about, some real life experience as far as that go. Like when COVID came, they was pushing the shot. They was pushing that. And you're supposed to be standing at this point, you're supposed to be standing on my body, my choice. You're supposed to be standing on the separation of church and state. You see what I'm saying? They was letting people come up in the church and push that on them. We need to do what they say. We need to do what they say. And see, these people got what I think one of the brothers kind of alluded to it as far as the 501c3. They got these tax exemptions, you see, by having churches and running churches. So they can take away their tax-free status if they speak on certain things politically. You see what I'm saying? So they don't really speak. They walk on ice. They walk on eggshells. When it comes to certain situations, as far as I'm talking about, like when people getting done wrong, our black people, our FBA people getting done wrong in these streets by the police and stuff like that. They don't really speak out about that. You see what I'm saying? That's another reason they was out there holding hands and praying with them and all that, and being compassionate toward these people that just unalive one of your baby. He didn't pull nothing out on them. You see what I'm saying? He was just running. You see what I'm saying? He might have broke the law. I think he jumped out of a car, out of a stolen car, but he was just running. He didn't threaten the police or nothing like that. And they unalived him. You see what I'm saying? And so you got these people, instead of being upset about that, they holding hands with him. So yeah, I do think that they kind of that puts a block, that puts like a little restraint on them as far as really standing on, I'm not standing on business, but standing up against oppression. They don't give much pushback. They real quick to, well, come on, brother, let's pray about it. Or let's sit down. We want to have they want to have some kind of breakfast with them, and introduce the kids to them and stuff like that. Yeah, so you know, and the other brother that just finished speaking, look, man, I know it's something higher than us, you know. But once again, like I say, everything we know about a God, somebody told us. And it's a lot of stuff in that Bible. If God is so loving and God is so caring, he had people doing some foul stuff. He had Bathsheba doing some foul stuff. You see what I'm saying? He had some foul stuff going on. He had brothers sleeping with brother-in-law sleeping with the wife of the brother. You know, all of this kind of stuff. These was commands that God said, look, I'm telling you to go over there. God told him specifically, you go do this, you go do that. So, that today, if we was to do that, you would say, no, I don't fool with that brother no more. You see what I'm saying? But
she gonna get you. I'm gonna tell you right now. I know you talking, but yeah, she's more church. I mean, understand the verses and stuff a lot. When you say, I know about free will and stuff like that, you're not about to tell me that God commanded you to commit sin. No, I understand what you're saying, but because I understand the free will, but I'm not gonna get into it like that. People that's really understand it and been through. I mean, it's all our opinions. We can't prove certain things like that.
No, that's not an opinion, sir. That's in the Bible. He
told
you gonna tell me what God said? God said that. He told that man to do that. He he killed him because he spilled his seed on the ground instead of spilling his seed in the woman like he told him to impregnate her. The man had enough. He had more morals than God, basically, because he said, "I'm not going to do that." God seen him not obey what he said do, and he killed him. That's in the Bible. It ain't no way around it. It's not no opinion. That's a fact. It's a fact of the Bible. Bathsheba, he had David and Bathsheba. He had Bathsheba to sleep with the other man. God commanded that. It's in the Bible. And if my wife went in there sleep, I'll go in there and I'll go get it. Got it all wrote down. I don't already broke it down a couple of times. I'll go get the exact verses and all of that for you. No, but these are direct commands from God to go do this.
Yeah, I believe
you. Yeah. I wouldn't tell you no lie, brother.
No, I believe you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no reason not to believe you. But yeah, it's all good.
To have a community, you must have three things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax bases for your own people. You should at least control four basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive and compete.
Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.